Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Captain Dylan Hubbard here for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Talking fishing this morning on this beautiful Saturday morning. Absolutely gorgeous weather lately. Excited to talk about that and all the springtime fishing that is in the air. Spring is in the air and it's in the water too. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and more this morning. I've got some friends in studio. We've got Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly 'em High Charters, Captain Travis Thompson from All Florida, and hopefully we're going to hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. If you have a fishing report, fishing question, or you just want to say hello, you can always give us a shout and join the show. Thanks for coming in this morning, guys. Appreciate it, Bobby and Travis, and waking up early.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, glad to be here, man.
Yeah.
You did not mention this is one of the most important days of the year.
What is it?
This is the opening day of turkey season for the North Zone in Florida. Yeah, we're going to talk fishing, but like this is a holy day in a lot of places.
And that's one of my questions that I thought about on the way here. I was like, we could talk to Travis, or we could talk to Bobby about the fact that tarpon have shown up in Johns Pass.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, yesterday we saw tarpon rolling in the fenders, and I was like, oh, it's early season tarpon. We can talk about that. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Travis, I wonder what he's hunting right now. I assumed turkey hunting was kind of nearing the end and we were moving on to gator hunting, but
no,
it's
turkey
just starting.
season. Yeah, it just starts now, so it's big time. So a lot of guys are probably listening to this right now, like in the woods, getting ready to walk into they're probably in their spots by now.
Yeah.
We'll hit them at the end because they'll be done by then.
I'm still floored about the whole you got to follow the turkey home thing. That was interesting.
Yeah, he roosted the night before, and then. But yeah, like today's the day. Like today's
You're a professional turkey stalker.
Yeah, that's what you are. That's what you are. Has anybody seen white butterflies? Speaking of tarpon,
I have not, but I've seen tarpon.
I haven't either. You know about the white butterfly thing, right? Like,
yeah, I've heard of this.
Like if you start seeing white butterflies, usually when I'm driving up and down the road, like
I always thought it was love bugs, though. The white butterfly to me was a surprise.
White butterflies, love bugs, honeysuckle, like orange blossoms.
So I always said love bugs correlated with the snook spawn. Because they always felt a little bit later to me, like they were late April or into May.
So the white butterflies are
white butterflies were always like when you saw white butterflies, you could start catching tarpon.
Yeah,
that's always been my.
So professional butterfly chaser, turkey stalker.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah,
you got a
shellcracker smeller.
Shellcracker smeller. I'm giving you the real Florida experience here, guys.
All Florida, that's it. So we definitely have early season tarpon though. And
yes,
it's crazy,
but.
Spring has seemingly sprung all the way across the map. I mean, yesterday, I think I got stopped more than a half dozen times by people just like, hey, I got to tell you about these snook. And how many people are like, oh, there's snook everywhere over here. There's snook. Oh, you can't believe all the snook I saw on this beach. It's crazy. From Fort DeSoto all the way to Clearwater Beach, people are stopping me to tell me how many snook they're seeing on the beaches already.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
I saw a report just yesterday. A guy posted a picture of like a high 30s, almost 40-inch snook caught from the rocks at Boca Grande Pass.
I'm having a lot of trouble concentrating on my job right now.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
I saw your video the other day you posted from the Marina, and it was like it was all the snook stacked in there.
Yeah.
And my wife walked by and she said, "Where's that?" I said, "Oh, that's at Dylan's place." She's like, "Can we go there?" I'm like, "I'm sure he would let you go there, babe."
Yeah, I mean, the last probably 7 days or so, the tides haven't been perfect, and I'm a little later than I would like to be. The sun is already up, so they're kind of a little less apt to feed. Yesterday, I was chasing them around, and there was some pretty good numbers, but they were super line shy, and like to the point where you drop the bait in the water and they scatter because of the bait sound hitting the water, you know. So I was like, oh, they're not ready to eat. But I did get one to eat, but it was kind of small, and when it ate, it was such a big shrimp, it kind of went out the gills. You know how he pops it, and he popped it so hard it spit it out the gills. So I tried to look real tight, but it didn't work. Spit the hook.
Man.
It was tough, but
it's exciting that it's that time of year, though, right? Like this is the best time of year fishing, I think. Like inshore, especially, but like just because everything's in front of you.
Yeah.
Like you came out of like the hard time, and now we're going into like, okay, it's on.
Yeah. The fall transition's good as well.
It is, but, like,
you're on the back end
that's ahead of
because
us.
you know you have to do it now because it's going to end.
Right. That's in front of us right now.
Right.
We're looking forward to everything that fishing has to offer right now.
I agree.
So like we've got the tarpon migration, we've got the snook spawn, we've got summer coming. We're gonna have
Mangrove
gag.
snapper.
We're gonna have our offshore stuff. Like man, we've got everything in front of us right now. So it's like
it's an exciting time.
it's a season of renewal.
Yeah. Spring is in the air and we're pumped. We're pumped over here. Also, I mean, the big thing for me is the numbers of snook and the size of snook. I mean, I saw a snook at an undisclosed location in Johns Patent. No, I was at the fuel dock, and I'm pulling a fuel hose in, and I look over the side. I was like, "What is that?" It was the biggest snook I've seen since I was a kid. Like when I was younger, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, growing up fishing on the dock all the time, you regularly saw 40+ inch snook.
Yeah,
and sometimes like 50s. It's like, whoa, it looks like a tarpon, but it's a snook. Dude, I saw one of those. I saw one of those this week. And it's cool to see. I haven't really seen one of those since they blew up the Johns Pass Bridge in like 2007. When they blew that thing up, there was hundreds of those 50-inch style looking snook all over.
Because they moved away from the structure.
No, because they blew up the bridge and they floated.
Oh, they died.
Yeah,
They killed them.
yeah. And then red tide, of course, you saw some big ones come in. But I haven't really seen those healthy looking fat snook in a long time. And I mean, this snook looked like it was 20, 25 pounds. It was huge.
Oh my gosh.
Girthy. It was crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
They don't get big by being stupid either.
Nope.
No.
Like you always see those like near fuel like near cleaning
It
stations or
had
whatever.
like 7 remoras on it.
Yeah, and I would say the vast majority of big snook I've ever caught in my life were on some kind of a dead bait
Yes.
or something like they were not pursuing a shrimp. Not to say you can't catch them on that, but like generally speaking, they were lazy feeders.
Mullet heads.
Yeah,
mullet heads sitting on the bottom.
like a big horse mullet.
Yeah.
It's comical you say that because I'm always fishing for snook with like my 4000 series Saltiga and some 50-pound fluorocarbon, some heavy stuff with a strong reel. But it's definitely not like overpowered. And the other morning I was chasing them around and throwing shrimp. And one of our captains, Captain Will, breaks out his 9-aught, and he's got a 9-aught reel with a 120-pound braid and a big 125-pound leader, and he puts on a gray snapper carcass. And that's what we hook those big snook with.
Absolutely.
Dropping them down. 'Cause
Absolutely.
we're filleting fish from a 39-hour trip. There's plenty of smell going in the water. The pelicans are going nuts. You drop one of those carcasses down. Generally, we're going to hook up with either a big snook or a nice tarpon.
Yep.
The tarpon start rolling through there right now. So
Yeah,
it's exciting.
those big snook. We used to do the mullet heads and on with 4-aughts with the drag. Pliers just locked the drag down as tight as they can go.
Pliers. That's the drag setting. Is you need
Take a hammer
pliers.
to it.
Yeah, you put vice grips on it and just use it as a handle to winch that star as tight as it'll go.
Nice.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
gosh, there's nothing quite like a big snook, man.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
The first minute that a snook is hooked is like the most exciting minute in fishing.
I would agree.
Like
100%.
you can take like all fish like have their advantages. Like a bonefish's runs and like they continue to run, or tarpon's jumps. But like the first minute that a snook is hooked,
I would even say before the snook is hooked, because it's so much fun, especially like fishing a dock like that. You watch that fish eat.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait. And you're using a circle hook. So not only do you have to wait, but you have to fight the instinct to just set the hook as hard as you can.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really tough. It's challenging, but it's fun.
I used to run top water charters, and we would throw top waters for snook down southwest Florida. And
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I would sometimes tell clients like, close your eyes.
Yes.
Like close your eyes and don't set the hook till you feel the fish, because they would hear it. And I can't tell you how many times like a Zara spook came flying by the boat.
Buck fever is real.
Because that fish would hit it, and he didn't have it. He was just hitting it, and oh my gosh!
I've told clients that hundreds of times with redfish because they have to hump up on it.
Yeah, they got to flip upside down to hit it.
Right. So I'm like, look,
I would miss fish after fish after fish. I'm used to bottom fishing where you can only feel it. Right. So when I can all of a sudden see it, it's a problem for me.
That's the most fun you can have fishing is when they're just going off like that.
Yeah.
And the weather looks good like that for the next couple days.
Yeah.
The next couple of days.
The weather is looking good today. Great today. It doesn't get much better today. It is a little overcast, which is kind of nice. It'll keep the temperature down. It is warming up on us. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit more sunny, still beautiful, but it is going to start picking up there Monday. We got a little bit of a cold front rolling through Monday, and it is seemingly a little stronger than it was forecasted previously. That cold front is kind of getting its act together. So we're going to get a pretty decent front Monday, and that's going to last all the way through Tuesday. Going to start calming down Wednesday. And then we should get some good opportunity to fish there kind of mid-work week before potentially some disturbance there end of the work week.
Is that another front looking at the end of the week? Like it looks like another rain, but the temperature doesn't really drop.
I thought it was prefrontal activity. It was looking like the last couple of days like a really strong south wind. Prior to that front, you get those real strong south winds as that front is coming down. But now it's just a really strong east wind with some rain. And I was actually looking at it before the show started, trying to figure out what it was. And there's really not even on the prog charts a clear delineation of what that is. So I think it might just be something that could change because if a prog chart's not showing a really defined frontal boundary, I would imagine that forecast might change a little bit. So I would say don't look too far ahead. That's what I always encourage people and remind people about this time of year, because it's that time of year where these frontal boundaries could stall and just not make it down here. So I think that's what we're dealing with. So hurry up and wait on the end of this work week. But we know it's going to be great fishing today and tomorrow, great weather, and we're right ahead of that front. So I would get out there and capitalize this weekend, take advantage of the good weather, and great fishing as we've been talking about. But we've got that weather update is brought to you by our friends at Reese Windows and Doors, Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in the business. They offer free installation on most windows and doors, and they install in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and their work comes with a double lifetime warranty, which means you never pay for a warranty when you sell your house. The warranty transfers to the new owners, which adds value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more info and get out there and go fishing. Pretty exciting.
Really exciting.
Yep. And we got more coming up in the show. Like I said, we got a lot of topics to cover this morning. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
Batteries are lighter, longer lasting, and more powerful than ever. And if you're looking to make a change, check out my friends at Abyss Battery, a Florida-based company that is revolutionizing the lithium battery game. Abyss Battery offers smaller case sizes without sacrificing performance while saving space in your boat. They offer proprietary software and design construction that, quite frankly, just sets them apart. Power your pursuit. Abyss Battery. Go to abyssbattery.com and see for yourself why they're the easy lithium battery choice.
I'm having memories.
We're all going to John's Pass after this.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks of standing on some LGI docks that my friends owned and just literally dropping those mullet heads or even live whole mullet down on freaking 4-aught broomsticks. Yeah, and with J hooks. I mean, it was not sporting at all.
We always even better than a broomstick or like a heavy rod is the hand line. That's what we do around the docks. Yeah. The hand line is fun.
We used to use Calcutta poles.
Because, if you hook a big, 40-inch snook on a dock without a hand line, you're really not going to have a chance.
No, dude, he's going to spank you.
Yeah.
Unless you've got, some kind of offshore deal that is just hammered down where you winch him in. Yeah. But he's going to be so green.
Yeah. So what we would do is, you're standing there, and literally, just drop it straight to them. So it's almost like a cane pole. Like the reel was almost pointless unless they did pull drag, and you had to crank them back. But we had a landing net. It's the biggest landing net I've ever seen. The hoop on it was yay big around. and it's like a
Yay big.
like a 6 or 8 foot handle on it, and so it's laying on the dock next to us. And the second you get the bite, like so we're using J hooks. When you set the hook, you're just trying to get their head out of the water.
Yep, you want to keep their head up.
And then this dude
so
grabs
they can't dig.
And then this dude grabs the net and scoops them. Like, I mean, so it's not
no fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really like sporting at all. But
that's
God,
that reminds me of when you used to do figure eights. That was the same thing.
Yeah. That's what we would do with those Calcutta poles off big bridges. Is we would do those figure eights with a ladyfish.
Yeah. And then as soon as they bite, you just get their head up and
lifting
net them.
Yeah.
Just lifting them.
That's funny.
Oh,
that's harvesting. Oh man.
You just want to touch them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you want to do is touch them.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt the monster snook. I just want to touch it.
I just want to land you.
I just want to touch it. What did Mitch Hedberg? You guys ever? You remember Mitch Hedberg? He said, I don't want to keep the fish. I just want to inconvenience it. I just want to make it late for going somewhere.
Mitch Hedberg was the man. I'm sorry that the escalator is broken. Pardon your convenience.
Yeah, sorry for the convenience. Yeah, two about fish. The other one was I like to go fishing and catch a fish stick. That would be convenient. But I always like I don't want to hurt the fish. I just want to make it late.
Oh, we might need to use that line moving forward.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt the fish. I just want to make it late for something. Oh my God, dude.
That's Bobby's whole business model.
Yeah.
Making the tarpon late for dinner.
Yeah.
Hell, I'll even feed him dinner. Got a nice little $5 crab over here, buddy. Buddy mine went 2 for $5 the other day.
I was talking to Danny Travis, who's the president of the Suncoast Tarpon Roundup now, and he was saying that they are getting a lot of tarpon in the bay already.
So it's funny. You said early season tarpon, and it is early season, but it's
for
not,
me it's early.
It's early season, but it's not early for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion.
March.
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
That's always my from St. Patty's Day on.
Yeah.
From St. Patty's Day, it's like if I'm going inshore fishing, I'll have at least a couple tarpon rods in the boat.
And Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow, for Real Animals Radio Show. No Captain Mike this morning. He is busy recovering from his Costa Rica trip. He was working in Costa Rica and getting outfished by Miss Beth. She caught a really big rooster fish, and if you're paying attention to the Real Animals Facebook page, you can see that Captain Mike did finally catch his cabera he's been chasing. So that's cool. We can't tease him about that anymore, unfortunately, but Miss Beth did catch the bigger rooster fish. So we got that, guys.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome. But we appreciate all his hard work down there fishing that new 44 Contender ST.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah. He took one for the team.
Is hero the right word? Is that too strong of a word there, you think, or is that the right word?
I feel like that might be a little too strong.
Okay.
But I do appreciate your effort. So we're excited to hear about that. He should hopefully be calling in and giving us an update. If not, we'll definitely hear from him next week about that Costa Rica trip. And you don't want to miss Real Animals Season 18. Can you believe that?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Season 18. Believe it or not. So
that took me back a little bit there.
That means Mike's an OG.
Yeah. He's been doing it. He's been doing it.
Yep.
He made it. It's crazy.
Real Animals has been on the air. So my son will be 18. So it's been on the air his entire life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching it when he was little.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember watching it when I was little.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty cool, though. Definitely awesome. So we're excited about that. Plus, on top of that, we're on the first quarter moon. This week, we're working our way to that full moon. So gonna be a more moving water and a lot of bait around right now. The bait is incredible. The mackerel are here. Besides, we were talking all about the snook being here. The mackerel are already here. A lot of fishing piers are. I saw I saw a photo of a 100-quart cooler filled with mackerel from the Skyway Fishing Pier.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the mackerel are loaded down. And I've heard reports of early season kingfish skyrocketing rates already. Yeah, in some of our southern artificial reefs. So I mean, we're
So
here.
I told you, man, it's all in front of us right now.
Yep.
It's a lot of exciting stuff.
It's like opening day. It's like opening day.
And our friends from Mastery Engine Center, Adib and his buddies were out fishing. I saw a photo of from one of his buddies. They had 3 wahoo in like a matter of a few hours. So, yeah, wahoo are back. I mean, a lot of exciting stuff lining up right now. So, it's that time of year. And everybody always asks, like, what's your favorite time of year? What's your best time to go fishing? This is, to me, these transition periods, whether it's spring or fall. I like fall, too. But I think spring is more exciting because of what you said, Travis.
Yeah.
It's all in front of us.
I think that I also, so I am a snook junkie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are too.
100%.
Like for being a Hubbard's Marina and stuff, you always talk about catching snook. Like
I love it.
that's the thing you.
Mm-hmm. It's my inshore fishing.
A snook in February, March, April, when the water temps are a little cooler, that's feeding, is a different fish than one in June, July when it's 83-degree water, 88-degree water. Like
100%.
Like they fight better. They're like, oh
and in
my
June
gosh,
and July,
it's a different fish.
For me, June and July snook are just like anybody can do it, right?
Yes, agreed.
If you're at the right time, there's so many of them there. I mean, it doesn't much matter what you do. You're going to catch a snook. And now, can you catch a big one? That's a little bit more challenging. But as far as like hooking a snook, June and July, you just have to be in the right time. That's it. Whereas this time of year, you could be at the right time, and they can be a little bit more picky.
They can be finicky, but when you hook them, man, even the little guys, like it's just a little bit different. Like I don't know if they fight better because the water makes them feel friskier. What do you think?
So I agree with you, and I see it in tarpon as well. Like our early season tarpon, this time of year up to the next.
Early season? You were just giving me crap.
He was giving you crap about
It's
it.
early season. It's not earlier than normal.
Oh, okay.
But the cooler water, the first push of fish that show up, the earlier water, those 60-pounders fight like a June 110-pounder.
Yeah,
they really do.
Yeah,
I think everybody. I mean, I think just naturally, right? We have more energy when it's a little cooler out. When it's 100 degrees and we're all dying trying to catch our breath.
yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not even outside. I'm on the couch.
Yeah. I think it's just the cooler water definitely has everything a little bit more frisky this time of year. And,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think the fish are as excited as we are that the weather's finally starting to change and it's finally starting to warm up a little bit.
bait.
Water's clearing up. Bait's back.
Yep.
Yeah. Everything's lining up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do we have to stay here till 8?
There's 3 of us. Like I would think one of us could slide out. Yeah.
Well, we do have Captain Van Hubbard on the line. We're going to hear from him on the other side, and hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, you can join the conversation. Give us a shout, 1-800-969-9352. If you have a fishing report, fishing question, whatever, give us a call. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk.
Call him on the way to the show, and I forgot. That's what I get. Yeah. I was having some trouble this morning.
Me too.
I ran out of
2 right boots.
windshield wiper fluid, and it's pollen central at my house right now, so my windshield was all
Your
messed
truck
up.
won't fit in a garage.
Oh no! And I thought I just didn't think about it. Wasn't thinking, so my windshield's covered in pollen and just nastiness, and I didn't have any fluid, and I hit the button. Windshield wipers went, and now I can't see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm like going like this and looking around trying to find a crack. Yeah, so that
Pine
was
trees,
challenging.
man.
I think I have a
Is it
small
pine
leak
or
in
is it
my,
oak?
Oak. 2 oak trees.
I have a small leak in my reservoir for my fluid, I think.
Yeah.
Because I fill it up, and I do have use of it for a period of time. It just seems like it runs out way faster than it should. So I think I have like a small leak in the tank.
I
the
thought that
reservoir.
too, because mine's the same way. I hit it a few times and like the tank's empty.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what the heck?
Yeah.
Put a bigger tank in there.
Put a transfer tank in the back in the bed.
Dude, all I know is I've been seeing some new F-250s. Those 2024s have the step side again. They added the step into it.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
On the body?
Yeah, my first truck, I wanted a step side Ford F-150 so bad, and they were so expensive when I was trying to get my first car. I couldn't afford one. Yeah, and now they brought it back. Yeah, they look good. The 2024s. I saw one at the gym yesterday. I was like, oh, park next to it.
So my partner bought one of those.
Yeah.
And the first weekend he had it, he brought it to the Duck Ranch. This was in December.
Yeah.
And missed a turn and drove it into a canal.
Oh, brutal.
Brutal. Wow. Brutal.
Oh, man.
I got a text from him. He's like, "Hey, are you still on the ranch?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" He's like, I need help." He was sick. Thing was fine though.
Wow.
It was fine. But the window doesn't roll down. I think that's the only thing.
That was the extent of the damage.
The passenger window doesn't roll down, or the driver's window doesn't roll. One of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was not great. Subprime. It's March Madness.
It is.
I feel like March Madness, I might be more into the women's bracket this year because of Caitlin Clark. I'm all about it.
The Gators, did he just say the Gators beat Alabama last night?
I did not hear.
I don't know. I was replying to a listener about fishing the East Coast.
I heard that eight SEC teams will probably make the tournament.
Wow.
Which would be the most that's ever made it.
Yeah.
I just Googled Gators versus Alabama and only football showed up. It's messed up. Oh! Yeah, the Gators creamed them.
Nice.
About 14.
Yeah, I think the top couple of seeds are out of the tournament.
Well, they're still in their little divisional tournaments, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The East, West, or whatever?
Well, SEC, Big 12, Conference USA,
Yeah.
they're all doing their...
Well, no, I'm saying in the SEC tournament, I think it was like Tennessee and Kentucky are both out.
Oh, really?
I think whoever the top two were, I think
I'm
they're
not
both
following
out.
it that closely. I only do about 15 minutes of warm-up cardio at the gym, and that's when I get my ESPN time.
Yeah, you're fixed.
We got Van, Hubbard, and Ron from Ron's Tackle Box.
I drove past Ron's Tackle Box the other day.
Yeah?
We went to had pizza at. Have you ever been to that little pizza
The
place?
little one up and on the left.
Colagelos
little
or
hole in
something?
the wall right there.
Collagellos?
Yeah,
Dude.
I haven't, but I've heard it's really good.
Bro.
Yeah?
Bro.
Okay.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you some things about
Yeah.
that.
We had
Yeah.
pizza at the house last night at a big pizza party. We had like 5 pies, and not eating a piece of pizza was very challenging.
You didn't do it.
Didn't eat a piece of
I
pizza.
admire that. Dude, that's impressive.
Such a better man than I am.
Yeah.
I love me some pizza too.
Dude.
It's challenging.
That's the one thing I cannot.
I've gotten spoiled on like good fresh margarita pizzas. Like that's
Ooh.
my thing.
So
Yeah, I
Emily
like
got
margarita pizza.
all their pizzas are kind of small. They're like 12-inch. Emily got a hot honey pizza with is it sopressata?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's like the thin carved salami instead of pepperoni.
I'm gonna cry right now. It sounds so
any,
good.
Any cacciatore seasoning on it?
I don't know. Is that even a thing?
the Tony
Tony Chachere's.
Oh,
Chachere's.
dude, yes. No, there was not that.
Did you catch like last week's show? Was it last week?
No.
Whatever
It was last week.
So they were talking about Dylan did a cooking episode, and
I
from
saw
on
the
Fox 13,
cooking episode on TV.
Yeah.
and then
I thought it was good.
Thank you.
Him and
I
Mike-
appreciate your compliment.
Him and Mike were talking about it, and my boy goes, he's talking about the Tony Chachere's, and he goes, "Yeah, that Tony Cacciatore stuff." Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Dude, that seasoning is the bomb.
It is.
Yeah.
I like. There's a bunch of different ones.
That
I've never
seasoning's
really
the
messed
bomb.
with it, but somebody that fishes with us is like a rep or a vendor or something, and he gave me like a box of all the different ones, and so I've been like slowly trying different ones. They're all
Tony Chachere's
good. Yeah.
has different. I didn't
Yeah.
know they had different.
So
Yeah,
they have
there's a bunch
the
of them.
green label original, but they have come out with a bunch of different.
Yeah.
Dylan Hubbard.
Hubbard here for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. We've got Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly 'em High Charters, Captain Travis Thompson from All Florida, and hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. We do have Captain Van Hubbard, Ron from Ron's Tackle Box, and Jeff from Lake Alfred on the line. We're going to get to those calls very shortly. But first, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process today. They're defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online today at affordableroofingflorida.com. With that, we've got Captain Van Hubbard. How you doing this morning, Captain Van? Apologize, I didn't call you on the way to the show this morning. I totally forgot. My bad.
Not a problem. I just didn't know whether to call you or you might have the day off, so I didn't want to take a chance on messing with you. If you get a chance, give me a shout on your way home.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, boy, what a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning.
Yes, sir. Absolutely gorgeous.
Y'all were talking about the fish fighting different in hot water and cold water and colder water and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the hotter the water gets, the less dissolved oxygen, and the less oxygen, the less energy all of us have, I think.
Amen. Yep. That's a great point. It's something we didn't discuss for sure. The science behind it.
Yep, absolutely. Which is why
Otherwise, everything is sure looking. Go ahead.
I was just going to say late summer redfish, I always recommend stepping up your tackle. You know, shorten that fight time.
That's smart.
Yeah, for all the fish, actually.
Yeah.
Because their recovery time it's harder to recover with the less dissolved oxygen, too.
Yes, sir.
It takes a lot more to recover in the summer after,
You got that
after
right.
a long fishing trip.
For all of us.
Yeah.
For all of us, yes, yes. Well, it's great to hear from you guys. Look forward to getting together with you one of these days and spending more time together if you're down this way. The water quality, the water is just beautiful right now. It's almost too clear. A lot of bait, a lot of Spanish mackerel.
That's
A
awesome.
few other fish showing up. We won't go into detail, but a few other fish showing up.
Uh-oh.
And just a great time to be fishing.
Yes, sir. It is definitely an exciting time. And you got a lot of mackerel set in there. Have you seen the kingfish yet?
I keep hearing about them, but I'm not seeing them. There's nothing in on the beach.
I got
I
you.
went down, drug around in the past the other day to see if I could get a big one for some friends, but saw some other fish, but couldn't get any kingfish going. But Scotty Moore was talking to him last evening. He said they were catching them in 45 feet off Anna Maria.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
That's a
there was
verified
school king,
report
I
right
think, out
there. Nice.
He said I think they were schoolies, 5-6 pounders, the really fun fish.
Yep. It's early, but they're here. I mean, those schoolies show up
Not
first.
by the water temperature. It's not. It ain't early by the water temperature.
That's true. That's true. But
Great point.
And
those schoolie fish are the early adopters, is what I was trying to say.
They're the first in.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we see those 5, 6, 7 pounders, and all of a sudden you see a 40 pounder show up behind them. So I'm excited. They follow the moons, right?
Go ahead.
So I mean, this full moon coming up this
Well-
weekend should bring those big girls in if the water temps stay right.
They definitely move on the moons. They're bigger tides. They move on that south wind. My observation was the very biggest fish were the very first fish inshore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Around the passes and stuff. And I know they've been catching mackerel for a while there at the Skyway. And there's got to be some big kings up there too. If there's silver kings, there's king mackerel.
There it is. The tarpon are here, right, Bobby?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
No one wants to talk about tarpon, I guess.
Captain Van, we going to see you at ICAST this year?
Probably. I'm going to try to get over there at least one day. I usually try to get over there on Thursday.
We have a booth. The Florida Guides
Yeah.
Association will have a booth.
We need to have Captain Van at the booth for a period of time. So
We got a place for you to sit down. That's going to be the FGA mantra is like, come visit the booth. We have a place for you to sit down.
Take a load off your feet, grab some refreshments.
At ICAST, that's a premium.
Yes.
I contend that the booth should just be two couches.
That I very much enjoyed that last year at your Real Animals booth, and
Yeah.
I appreciate Mike and all you guys. And Travis, I look forward to talking to you more, and Bobby and everybody. I'm definitely going to try to get over there. Maybe I'll try to get over there 2 days. We'll see what happens. But it's easy to get busier, and I look forward. I got a project I want to talk to Dylan about on his way home about getting some other things going. And I'm just so proud of you guys and what you're all doing. And you know, this people don't understand that if you don't put time and effort into protecting your fishing, rights and privileges just get taken away and used and abused. And so I'm so glad that y'all are putting the effort into protecting our fisheries and our water quality and the other important stuff.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Thanks for calling in.
Standing on your shoulders, Captain Van. Thank you.
Let's go fishing because it's good for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you on the way home.
All
See you,
right.
buddy.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, Van.
Always a pleasure to hear from our buddy, Captain Van Hubbard. We got Ron from Ron's Tackle Box with a freshwater report, our freshwater guru. How you doing this morning, Ron?
Imperial Polk County.
Doing great. Let me tell you, the fishing is great.
Nice.
We had some decent weather. Biggest one I seen this week was right at 12 pounds. We have a lot of 9, 10-pounders. It's been really good.
Whoa.
You still have a good opportunity to come out here and get a nice fish.
That's awesome.
Still some bedding fish out there, but it's going to slow down soon.
What are they catching them on, Ron?
Shiner.
All on shiners?
Not all of them. That one big one was a shiner out of Lake Alfred Lake.
Wow. That's a monster.
A lot of shellcracker, a lot of bluegill. Specs are still on. I would say you could do some good specs yet until April, around April something.
Nice.
Because the water's getting warm, they're going to go deep.
And then they push off.
Are the specs in the grass right now, or are they still in open water?
Yes.
They are
Yeah,
in the grass.
they're shallow.
Okay.
They're shallow. And the shellcrackers mixed in with them. I mean, everybody's fighting for a spot to spawn. So, like I say, a good time to shoreline fish. You could come on the fishing piers. You can go in a boat. 554 lakes in the county to fish on. Just a great time out here.
What are they catching the shellcrackers on? Is it shrimp, or are they catching them on?
Well, a variety of things, but mainly redworms.
Okay.
They love the redworms. Crickets work well. The shrimp work well. I don't encourage the shrimp bite because, if you go out and catch a few yourself is good, but if you go out there commercially doing it, you ruin the lake.
Right, right. That's a big forage for
That's
that
the
thing.
food chain. That's the food chain there.
Yep. You're
So
exactly
I try
right.
to I don't sell them. I don't do that.
That's appreciated.
So you stick to the worms a little bit easier.
Yes.
Because I assume they can
And Dylan,
breed those.
I'm going to give you some advice. You need to run for mayor over there.
Mayor of St. Pete, Dylan Hubbard.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I watch the news, and they need to do something there. You're the man to do it.
I appreciate it, Ron.
Yes, sir.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, it is. It's somebody. They need common sense.
Yeah.
It's a great place. That's a beautiful paradise over there where you're at.
Yeah. We are very blessed.
Stay that way.
Amen to that. Well, we appreciate it, Ron. Hopefully that bass
Alrighty.
bite stays hot. 10 pounds.
Yes.
12 pounds.
A
That's
good
amazing.
couple months. You had
That's a
a
big
great
bass.
fishing.
That's awesome. So
Come on out here.
we get excited about spring in the saltwater. Sounds like freshwater. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, late winter into
yeah.
spring.
Nice.
Hey,
yeah.
Ron, is the that big bass, was she post spawn or was she full?
Post spawn.
That's
it
a
was
big fish.
Skinny fish. I mean, if it was full, it'd have been a lot bigger. But I think it spawned out.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Let it go back. They measured it, took picture, weighed it. I seen it on the phone. He had a good picture of it. So it's the true deal.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
But I usually see some bigger ones this time of year. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for that phone call where you're like, yeah, the big one this week was like 15 pounds. That's
only
coming
a
up, right?
50-pounder. Yeah, it felt like a grouper on there.
What's the biggest one you've ever seen, Ron?
16.
Whoa.
That's a monster bass.
I seen two of them out of a close by lake here. So
Notice he did not say the name of the lake.
Yeah. Skipped over that part.
I lost my thought. I lost my train of thought.
That's never happened before. How would
Right.
someone visit Ron's Tackle Box? Where would they find you?
I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990.
You're the man. We appreciate you, Ron. Thanks for being our
Thanks,
freshwater
guys.
guru.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Ron.
Bye.
Bye,
See you,
Ron.
buddy. We've got another Lake Alfred caller on the line. We've got Jeff. What's going on, Jeff? How are you this morning?
Hey, Jeff.
Morning.
What do you got for us, my friend?
Of course, you're going to catch me. I'm putting my boat in at the ramp right now.
Ah, there you go.
Which
Wait.
ramp?
Trying to go after one of them 12-pounders?
No, not today. I'm out here at Maximo.
Oh, Maximo's going for those saltwater 12-pounders.
Us Imperial Polk County guys move around.
Yeah. Stay.
Yeah. Got to put a GPS on it.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of moving around. You got to fish and move, fish and move. So you got a question or a fishing report for us?
I do. I'm living a boat. I'm catching some nice gags. Seems
Nice.
how they're about to be extinct.
Yeah. That's one way you could put it for sure. But it seems like we're going to have a gag season. The more I hear, the more things move along. It seems like we're going to have a gag season this year, which is incredible news after hearing those initial reports of the numbers for sure.
That was my main question. I've even tried to book a trip with a guide. They
Yeah.
said they're not even booking trips because they don't know if they're going to have a season yet.
I would feel pretty confident that we're going to have some semblance of a gag grouper season. It will open September 1st. How long it will be open is the big question mark, but everybody's kind of waiting for April. The April Golf Council meeting is when they've told us that they're going to kind of finalize the projections for gag grouper, for red grouper. We know amberjack will be September and October. We know red snapper will, for our federal for-hire season at least, we know it will be very similar, if not exactly the same as last year. So June 1st to around August 24th. So we have a pretty solid idea of the seasons, but everything will be finalized in April.
That's some good information.
Yes,
I figured you would have the inside info if anybody did, Dylan.
Trying my best, my friend. That's that's all we can do. Yes, sir.
Quick question. We're doing pretty good on the reds. Fishing between 50 and 60
Yep.
foot. Caught a couple keepers, a lot of shorts.
Yep.
We've had a lot of weather last couple of weeks since I've been out. You think they're still in the 50 to 60, or should I
You could catch
going out to 70 or 80?
Exactly what you said. If you're in 50 to 60, you could catch a keeper red grouper, but you're going to have to do a lot of sorting, and it's going to be a little challenging to find that keeper. If you pushed out another 30, 40 feet, you'd be much more likely to find keepers more quickly. We're doing really well around that 70 to 100-foot mark, and the deeper you go, the chances of keepers go up. But around 70 to 100 foot has been a sweet spot to start getting some really good action on the red grouper right now. And we've been seeing a lot of big lane snapper in that range, a pretty decent mangrove snapper bite, and you still can catch those hogfish out there too. And don't forget the flat line today, because the kingfish are showing up. And there's a lot of other things. This is that time of year where you start to see those blackfin tuna come in shallower too. So you got to shout at multiple different pelagics up on the surface. So have a flat line out, and I would say target that 70 to 100-foot range. Big dead baits, big strips of squid, cut bonita. You could even use some of those big thread fins and target those red grouper with some pretty good luck, hopefully.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Dylan.
No problem, my friend. Well, we appreciate you calling us, Jeff. Good luck out there today.
Catch him up, Jeff.
We'll talk to y'all guys later.
Seems like the Hubbard for mayor train is getting some steam.
I don't know about all that.
Guess what, though? I just logged on to GoDaddy. I bought Dylan Hubbard for mayor.com.
Nice. Hubbard 2026
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's the way to go.
All right. With that, we are going to go to break. Remember, you can join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to give us a shout. We'll be right back. Real Animals Radio on the other side.
Hey anglers, the best fishing charters in the Bay Area out of Hubbard's Marina on the boardwalk at Johns Pass. Hubbard's Marina has been catching fish since 1928. They offer everything from family-oriented half-day trips to the more advanced overnight trips. Nobody in the business does big group party fishing like Hubbard's Marina. They also have a great tackle store that can provide live bait and tackle to fish from their boats or from John's Pass Bridge. So for the best cheeseburger on the Gulf, book your trip today at 727-393-1947 or go to hubbardsmarina.com.
CD Valet, your key to
Well,
financial
that's
freedom. CD Valet is the online marketplace that connects you with top financial institutions, ensuring you get a certificate of deposit with the best rates and terms. CD Valet makes it easy to find and open the perfect CD that meets your
I know
savings
our
goals.
school board
Our
is
financial empowerment. Earn more on your savings with CD Valet. Go to cdvalet.com today and unlock the doors to your financial success.
For less than you need, Burn NPA is ready in time for the compensation you
Yeah.
deserve. You know who to call.
Well,
Call
the other thing is crazy.
I'm not good at that.
ABC.com for details.
As a business, like, people are writing, they need to write money off. You can do that to nonprofit.
breaks down.
You'll find those, like, I mean, because there was like some point. But yeah, I don't understand. A donation to political campaign is not deductible. So people are just saying, hey, here's $5,000, $2,000, whatever it's at. I guess you got to
Second through 24 to $1,000 gift card. Tommy's the spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers and overseas experts.
Lithium batteries are lighter, longer lasting, and more powerful than
Day
ever.
after
If
she
you're
was
looking to make a
elected.
change, check out
Stopped
my friends at
answering
Abyss
that
Battery,
behavior.
a Florida-based company
When you
that
have
is
something they need,
revolutionizing the lithium
oh, yeah,
battery
they're your
game.
best friend.
Abyss Battery offers
Which we all
smaller
have
case
fish, we all
sizes
have
without
ducks, we all have
sacrificing
turkeys, like, we all
performance
have
while
stuff they
saving
need.
space in your boat.
But
They offer
that doesn't
proprietary
translate the same way that
software
lobby
and
dollars
design
do.
construction
Yeah.
that quite frankly
But it's
just sets
unfortunate.
them apart.
I saw a
Power
viral
your
video this
pursuit.
week. I'll send it to you
Abyss
guys in our
Battery.
little
Go to abyssbattery.com and see
Instagram
for
chat.
yourself why they're the easy
Of this
lithium battery
legislator
choice for the
in South
real animals
Carolina
fishing
talking
team.
about how why would I only really legislature on him? Well, they know more than your constituents do. I'm like, that's kind of how we govern this.
Wow.
The lobbyists know more than the constituents do, so that's who we're going to talk to.
Wow.
I tell you stuff about politicians make your hair curl, man. And none of us have ever.
Well, it's funny. My sister asked me after our Tallahassee event. She's like, "How'd it go?" I'm like, "Oh, it went really well." I'm like, I enjoyed it. Like, I would.
That's crazy.
Is that us?
Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow for Real Animals Radio Show. Want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over at Power Pucks, the world's first power supply trolling motor quick release bracket. It eliminates the need for exterior power plugs that can snag lines, corrode easy, or just be an eyesore cluttering up your deck. Go to powerpucks.com and find out for yourself why so many of the pros are making the switch over to Power Pucks. We've got Captain Travis Thompson in studio from All Florida, Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly 'em High Charters in studio this morning, chatting fishing and excited. Spring is in the air. We're on that first quarter moon coming up to a full moon. We've got lots of good fishing opportunities this weekend ahead of that front coming in tomorrow to Monday, not tomorrow.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday afternoon. So get out there and go fishing this weekend. And if you have a question, fishing report, you just want to say hello, give us a call, 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. And no callers on the board right now, so we got an opportunity to chat here a little bit about, we talked about how the snook are here, the mackerel are here, kingfish are showing up, tarpon are not early, but They're right on time, apparently. Right, Bobby?
Yes, you're correct.
And we still have a lot of the wintertime patterns hanging over. There's still sheep's head all over the pilings. We've got redfish schooling already. That seems early. Can I get that?
A lot of the South Shore guys that I know, they're whacking the redfish.
Yeah.
Those guys whack the redfish all the time, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that's a South Shore
That's
mantra.
yeah, that is the South Shore. Like, you have to get a redfish tattoo to even fish down there now.
Is that true?
I guess.
I feel like that's true.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Redfish tattoo. Seems legit.
Like, I'm a Charlotte Harbor guy.
Right.
Like, we don't catch redfish the way they do.
No.
Like, you have a couple of days a year where you can catch redfish like that, it feels like, but we don't catch them. These guys seem to catch redfish as like their primary go-to fish.
I think it is. I think, if they're targetable, that's what they're going for.
They post more redfish pics than anything else.
Yeah, or 75 trout on a cleaning table. But
whoa,
Bobby just
shots fired.
Came off the top rope right there. That's Bobby Woodard at flyinghighcharters.com.
Captain.
The show does have a disclaimer.
Captain-Bobby.com. Oh man.
But no, I also feel like you mentioned the harbor. I feel like we redfish a little different down there. Or maybe I'm just like not in the cool kids club. But like we don't get like 6, 7, 8, 10 boats surrounding a school of redfish. Bumping them from boat to boat to boat. I don't know.
The fish behave differently down there.
I think you're a cool kid.
Well, thank you.
I do too. And for the record, I've never caught 75 trout in my life collectively. I don't think.
No.
Like, I'm not a trout guy. People ask me, they're like, "Hey, can we go catch trout?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we should have discussed that beforehand because I don't think they're hard to catch, but I don't really know how to fish for them. I'm like, that's not my jam. Like, I can catch snook, we can catch redfish, but we can catch tarpon. Trout is something I just don't pursue."
Yeah. They're fun though when it's cold and wintertime, negative lows. I like fishing for trout in those holes, light tackle.
Yep.
And at night in the wintertime when they get up on the lights, they're fun too.
Oh, they're a blast on a fly rod on dock lights.
Yeah, but
so much fun.
Once you get to this time of year, the snook are back from the trout they lose their allure.
They lose their allure to me too.
They're a fill a void kind of fish to me.
Yeah.
Like you said,
they get you through the tough ones.
Yes.
And we've seen a shift in the inshore guiding industry to where you're not making meat runs primarily.
Right.
Like most of us are catch and release anglers or you're taking a fish or two. And so with that being said, trout are a pretty tender fish.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's great if you got kids and you want to catch 1,000 fish, but so are ladyfish. Like,
and Jack Crevalle.
Yeah, like there's lots of fish out there that'll willingly bite and jump off the hook.
Yeah.
And it's not impacting like a game fish fishery.
Right.
And so I don't know, man. I don't love fishing for them, although I don't have anything against trout. It's just not something I target. So I'm like not in practice on my trout targeting.
Yeah. We're trout haters here.
That's what it sounded like, man. It was like really aggressive and
Yeah,
I feel bad for it.
That's all right. We'll make it up on the other side. We've got Chuck from St. Pete and Steve from Palm Harbor on the line. We're going to get to you guys after a short break. Remember, Real Animals Radio will be right back.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Bunch of trout haters.
I do.
I
hate trout fishing. Let me be very clear now that we're off the main air.
I don't hate trout. I hate killing trout.
Dude, I'll show you this fishing
I love to
pole.
eat trout.
I'll show you this fishing pole I have in my truck right now. I bought it for my son. It's a St. Croix trout rod. I'm pretty sure it's like a freshwater rod. But dude, if you caught a even 16-inch trout on this rod, it would feel like a 40-inch snook.
So I totally relate to what you're saying because I have since sold it, but I used to have just a rod. Like typically I'll do my stuff in sets of 4, that all match. But I had a rod that was my personal, and it was a super, super light action. I had 4-pound mono on it.
Nice.
So you get the stretch and the head shakes?
So and I would trout fish with it, and I'd just have a blast.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like buying those rods for my kids, so that way when they catch a pinfish or something, the rod's like bowed over, But they were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I keep it in my truck for that reason, because it's fun.
When I was running a lot of charters, like trout were always a bycatch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that was just a bonus. Oh, cool! You caught a trout. Now you're on your way to your slam.
Yeah.
But I was, man. Hey, can we go catch trout? Oh, boy.
No, you cannot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Dan the Fishman said, "Don't sleep on trout. They're fun on artificials." I like an early morning trout topwater action. They're fun. See that yellow mouth come up.
Yeah.
It's not that we're saying we don't like fishing for trout. It's just not
I said it.
going to be the targeted. You said it.
I did say it.
All right. Well, I guess that's true though. I mean, you don't leave your house being like, "I'm going to go catch a bunch of trout today."
Yeah, okay, we don't have the trout fishery here like they did in
I'm not
Indian
going to
River
complain
Lagoon.
if I catch
Back
big
in the
trout.
day, like the big gator trouts and stuff. Like
those big IRL trout.
Yeah,
you're
like-
gonna write home about.
I would
those.
go fish for those. Go ahead.
So we used to though down in the
Yeah.
harbor. We used to. There was a guy named Rocco out in Bokeelia, just an old school. I think he was Cuban descendant and whatnot. He had a boat, like an old crappy like mullet boat. His live well was a hole in the bottom of the boat, and like water would just self fill and like fill like a small cavity in the boat.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was a hole in the bottom of the boat. Water would just come in and self level and fill like
Up to the
like
water
a cavity.
line.
Right. And like a lot of John boats are set
Yeah.
up that way, whatever, right? And so he would go out and catch
A lot of
pinfish.
John boats have holes in the bottom.
He would go. We're from Imperial Polk County, so he would go out and catch pinfish and throw them in this hole in the bottom of his boat, and they had like mesh or something, so they wouldn't swim out the bottom. Whatever, I forget how he said it.
As
Anyways,
one does.
he would trout fish. I've seen it with my own two eyes with 4-aughts. Okay,
Wow.
and he would cracker cast.
Like swing it, yeah.
You know, and
You know about the cracker cast?
Show me that again.
Okay.
Hold on, is cracker casting a thing up
Yeah,
here? Okay.
I've heard of cracker.
Okay.
cast.
Okay, I didn't know if it made it this
But
far
we
north.
underhand cast
So he
because
he,
we're
he
fishing
would
from a taller
You have
boat.
to cracker cast with like tarpon
yeah
stuff a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're fishing from a skiff, I can understand having
Yeah,
to do that,
right.
but I don't fish from a skiff, so I've never done it myself. I don't think I can pull it off.
So homeboy would go out and cracker cast, hand-sized pinfish on 4-aughts and catch like gator, like 25, 30-inch trout in Charlotte Harbor, like consistently.
Wow.
But I'm talking in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Trout fishing with a 4-aught.
Do you
That's
remember?
amazing.
Do you remember a topwater bait? I think it was called a thunder stick.
The only one I ever really fished was the top dog and top pup. Those are the,
Okay, so
those
way
are the-
back in the day, they had this bait that was like weighted. Somebody's gonna remember this. It was weighted and it sat almost vertical.
Mhm.
And when you would jerk it, it jerked the tail up, and the tail the top and the tail would smack, and then
I
it would dive
think-
and come right back up.
I think I've seen something
I think it was
similar.
called a thunder stick, and we would wear the trout out on that like all day long.
Yeah.
Really?
It's all we would throw was those thunder sticks, or slapstick, or thunder stick. Dude, they were money for trout. You googling it?
Yeah. I'm going to see what Dan Quill's internet says.
Justin said 4-pound mono. Pfft, I've heard this story before, and you told me you horsed him up with 40-pound mono, Bobby.
I'm a little afraid what I'm going to
Scott
find.
said a lot of Polk County on the show this morning. Polk County in the house.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid what I'm going to find when I Google image search thunder stick.
Make sure your safe search is on.
Pretty sure that's what it was. I think it was a thunder stick. STIK.
I bet you Captain Van or Captain Bill Miller know.
Dude, they know, because I guarantee you I learned about it like reading Scott Moore's Snook Fishing Secrets or something like that.
Thunder stick lure for salmon. Let's see what this says. Nah. So that's a storm. That's like a.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, William Keene has a good point here. 2 trout at a time on the trout tandem rigs.
Yep.
I remember my dad used to take us, and we'd do the silver trout after school when they got up on the beach in the winter. And doing the love lures, bouncing them around the bottom, just outside the second sandbar on the beach, and you catch 2 silver trout at a time. It was fun.
The silver trout, yeah. Now, that's more to me like pan fishing, though.
Yeah,
It is.
we were meat fishing for sure. But silver trout were decently big sometimes. Silver trout, you can get some 14 to 16-inch fish.
Dude, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
They're not small. They're not big gator trout, yeah, but you get 2 14-inch fish, but they're fighting pretty decent.
Slam dog.
Maybe it's called a slapstick.
Slapstick.
Somebody out there help us out, Brandon. We need my dad. My dad will know.
There we are.
sat vertical in the water column.
We're back.
Its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, y'all. Captain Dylan Hubbard here for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. We've got Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly'em High Charters, Captain Travis Thompson from All Florida, and we are talking fishing this morning on this gorgeous Saturday morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Ace Heating and Cooling. For over 20 years, Ace Heating and Cooling has been the name you can trust in the heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands, and they do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salesmen, because they try to build long-lasting customer relationships that hold up over time. Call 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net and find out for yourself why Ace Heating and Cooling is the easy choice for the Real Animals fishing team. We've got some callers lined up this morning. We've got Steve from Palm Harbor, Chuck from St. Pete, and then Captain Jim Fogle with our Milwaukee Tool Safe Boating Tip of the Week coming up as well. First, we're going to hop over to Steve since he's been holding on the longest. What do you got for us this morning, Steve?
What's up, Steve?
Good morning. Good morning. Enjoy the show. I'm calling 2 weeks ago, March 2nd. The city of Oldsmar Park Department had a kids fishing event at 9 a.m., and I compliment the people that helped put that on and volunteered their time to take some youths out and learn to cast and fish. Awesome. And I would encourage others to look online to find out more information during the summer for kids' events. This past week was spring break, and the introduction and properly learning how to cast is and good instructions will last a lifetime.
Amen to that. Yeah, couldn't agree more. The FWC actually has a really good program through the Youth Conservation Network, and it's the Florida Youth Conservation Network, FYCN. You can look that up.
FYCCN.
Oh.
I think it's 2 C's.
Okay. Thank you, Travis. But, yeah, they do an amazing job of funding youth fishing events, youth camps, and making it easy for kids to get hooked on fishing. It's really, really cool. The state has such a well-funded arm to really focus on that. So I'm sure that they were involved in that, and if they weren't, they should be in the future. So if you're part of the leadership, definitely make them aware because there's a lot of good stuff going on.
There's also, if you know anybody that's involved with schools, FWC does grants to school fishing clubs every year, which is another great way. Like if there's any schools in the area, I want to say they'll give $500 per club, and there's like a lot. Don't hold me to this number, but I feel like it was like 100 of those or 500 of. Like they were giving a lot of money away to encourage. Like if a teacher wanted to sponsor a fishing club at the school, they were willing to help out, and like that's. Yeah, you can disagree with FWC on some things, but they definitely put their money where their mouth is on this kind of stuff.
Hugely, yeah. Great call, Steve.
CCA has also stepped up and helped, and Mike Anderson's helping with that. And I think that's the best thing with the situation that families are in and broken homes. The opportunity for kids to learn is there. It just has to take the steps to find out where to get help and get the instructions. And thanks to the volunteers helping put that on.
Couldn't agree more, my friend.
Great call.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Brother. See you, man.
Thank you.
Bye.
Great call for sure. Remember, you can join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. If you want to give us a shout, give us a fishing report, question, comment, whatever, you can join the show at that number. We got Chuck from St. Pete. What's going on, Chuck?
Just sitting here watching my snook light this morning for the last hour. I've seen a school of mullet, seen some snooks, seen some trout. I mean, it's just fired up. I mean, I think everything's come by here this morning.
Nice.
So it's awesome. But I want to get a fishing report.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Hey, can you tell us exactly where that snook light is? And we'll come check it out.
We're going to need a pin. Send us a pin.
My GPS coordinates.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come watch it and verify what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to give a fishing report. I got a couple of different spots I catch snook at, but I've noticed I get kind of frustrated. Like they turn on and then they just turn off. Is that common to every spot, or is that just my spots?
That's 100% common. Yeah. I watch them. Yeah. I watch them turn on and turn off at the pass all the time, and it really has a lot to do with that tide. That those solunar tide tables are really important when it comes to snook fishing. I feel like they're even more attuned to that than other fish. What do you think?
Yeah,
I think snook are the most affected by tide. Like I will fish snook strictly on tarpon too, like in the passes and stuff. But snook more than any other fish, man. Like redfish, I can catch them on whatever the tide is.
Yeah.
If I can get a bait in front of it, I can catch them.
Yeah, if it's moving, yeah.
But snook, man, you can put bait in front of them. Like you can watch those fish for hours and put baits in front of them, and they will not bite. And then suddenly, they bite.
Yeah.
And all of them will.
You can set your watch by them. It's pretty impressive for sure.
Hey, one thing I wanted to give a shout out to Eckerd College. My boat broke down. I was all the way down by Anna Maria. I live in St. Pete. And I tried to call CETO, and they just didn't have time to come help me out. But I guess they have a program at Eckerd College where if you call these volunteer kids, they come out and they towed me all the way from basically Passage Key to St. Pete for tip money.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
It's the search and rescue It's an actual class at the at the college there, and the kids as part of the class do shift work in the search and rescue team.
It's a class I want to
take.
It
couldn't have been a nicer bunch of kids. I mean, really polite, helpful. One girl got on our boat to ride with us while the other guys towed us. And she's going to, she's a marine biologist, and she's got all these goals and stuff like that. And they're all trying to, get all their hours, and they have all different things courses they have to take, and different skills they have to develop. So, and they're having this morning they're having like a big yard sale, so to speak, with all kinds of stuff. So if anybody's interested, I think it's from like 10 to 12 or something like that.
Oh, that's
9
awesome.
to 12.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing. And I'll just add for the listeners, they provide that tow service free of charge to vessels in need. However, they are severely underfunded, and they do accept donations.
Oh, I donated heavily.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, they do a lot of search and rescue too.
Yeah.
So besides just towing people, thank you for the call, Chuck. We appreciate it, my friend.
Good callers today.
All right, y'all.
See you,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Yep, and if you want to join the conversation, like I said, 1-800-969-9352. We've got Captain Jim Fogel with our Milwaukee Tools Safe Boating Tip of the Week. What's going on, Captain Jim?
Hey, Captain Jim.
Hey, good morning, guys. Y'all sound good. I guess the fish are just laying back, relaxing this morning with the three of you in the studio at one time.
Oh, we're going to get
Probably going to get.
Gave him the day off.
All right. I got it. Yeah, cool. This morning I want to talk a little bit about passengers on the boat that do not boat very frequently. And most of you guys probably have a mate. If you don't have a mate and you do have passengers on there, you really need to try to find somebody that could operate that boat a little bit if you take a header off the boat or have a big one or get yourself hurt or something like that. There needs to be somebody that can take command if you are unable to do so. Just at least to get back, if you can't get back to the dock, you can at least call for help. So you want to try to show them how to operate that radio. And, we always talk about making a radio check before you leave that dock every day. So let them make the radio check. Just talk them through making the radio check. And that'll give them some confidence if they have never done it before. Also, how do they find the lat line on your boat? A lot of boats, a lot of chart plotters, you guys will be using screens that don't have the actual lat line on them when you're fishing. You're just fishing the bottom and looking for the fish. So you need to show them how to find a lat line on your chart plotter if it's not up there. Usually you can just hit set or mark or something like that, and it'll come up. but somebody on that boat needs to be able to do that so that when they do call for help, they know, where you are. Doesn't do any good to call. I mean, eventually they can track you down, but we don't want to be out there any longer than we have to if we're hurt or in trouble. So show them how to show somebody, you don't have to do it to everybody, but show somebody how to find that lat lawn and how to communicate that back to the Coast Guard. Always, you guys always, want to show them. Everybody needs to know where the life jackets are, where the first aid kit is, where the fire extinguishers are, and where do you keep your flares? Okay, show them the flares. Hopefully, I mean, I talked about this a lot. I prefer the 12 gauge myself because it's a lot simpler than trying to remember to hold a handheld off the side of the boat so that the slag doesn't drip down on you or the boat, and hold it so that the wind's blowing it away from the boat. When the stuff hits the fan, you're not going to remember that, much less the crew members.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I really believe in the 12 gauge myself. They also give you a little bit more altitude in the flare, and it stays up there a little longer.
I believe in a 12 gauge as well.
I do as well.
For everything.
That's a life principle of mine.
And for us guys that carry PLBs and EPIRBs, where are they? And, it's pretty simple how to get them going. But where are they? Make sure. If you have an EPIRB, it's usually on the deck somewhere in its little carrying case so that it can come out real easy. But if you're a PLB guy like a bunch of us, where is that PLB located? And so then hopefully we can get you home.
Amen.
Even if you're hurt.
Love it.
Great tips.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the time. Appreciate you a lot. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete, Jim Fogel. Be safe out there.
Thanks buddy.
Jim.
Thanks,
Always
Cap.
a pleasure to hear from Captain Jim Fogel, bringing us our safe boating tip of the week, brought to you by our good friends at Milwaukee Tool. Go to milwaukeetool.com to find out for yourself why Milwaukee Tools are the easy and best choice for the Real Animals fishing team. Definitely excited about all the great fishing to come, but want to be prepared for sure. Always cool that Captain Jim keeps that forefront.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback the whole flare thing, I actually keep, I don't know the legality of this, but I keep
this.
I keep my
where this is going.
I keep my expired flares on the boat as well. However, I do keep them separate from the ones that are in date, just because in my mind, if I need flares, I want as many as I can have. And just because the date's expired, like they may or may not still work. They'll be my last bag. Like I've already gone through all the valid ones, but I mean they're still on the boat though.
Yeah, keep more for the party.
Yeah,
that's right. I love it. I was always told in captain's class, like you have to do a safety briefing with your clients,
which I do.
But and I do too. But I've always kind of been shocked. I've been on other charters before,
that
like when I worked at corporate American stuff, where they did on the inshore charter, it's not
easy
cool.
to get complacent.
It's not cool, right?
Yeah.
To do this safety briefing, and I've always been really cognizant of. Look, life jackets are in here, like they're not in bags, they're ready to use.
Yeah.
Like it's okay for 5 minutes. We're gonna eat our vegetables, and then we're gonna go have a good time.
Yeah.
But that 5 minutes could save my life on top of everybody else's. Down the road. So.
It is a Coast Guard requirement too. A lot of people don't realize that you have to do it before the boat leaves. So definitely important.
I had a line fire extinguisher wise that I stole from my old buddy Tommy. The fire extinguisher's here. If there's an event in which we need to use it, call me and let me know how it works out for you, because I'm grabbing a life jacket and jumping overboard. This little tiny fire extinguisher that we have isn't gonna do. So call me and let me know how it works out for you.
Remember, you can call us, join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. Real Animals Radio. We're gonna be right back after this.
Looking for the Bay Area's premier family boating resource? Look no further
Surrounded
than
by nature's fire extinguisher.
Right. The water, when it sinks, will get it.
Right.
Yeah, fire on a boat is not great. Definitely something that concerns me.
Yeah.
On those big boats, man, you don't have that that doesn't hold true, right?
you have like fire suppression systems, right?
We have fire suppression systems, but you also have different kinds of fire. A, B, C,
right,
D,
exactly.
you know.
Right.
Well, for us, A, B, C. So you have to know the ABCs, the fire triangle, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So we definitely train more about it. But there's a lot of things that go into it. It's interesting.
Apparently, I guess depending upon what actual chemical is in the extinguisher, it can be corrosive.
Oh, 100%.
And my buddy learned that the hard way. Years ago, I think we were in high school still. We were fishing his little flats boat over by Shell Point, little Manatee River area.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there, anchored up on a point, slick fishing. And we're like, you smell that? You smell that? And it smelled like an electrical fire, is what and he opens up the console, and he's like, oh, man. He's like, there's smoke. And I'm like, okay, well, let's figure it out. And before we can go into, like, investigative, like, let's figure it out, homeboy grabs a fire extinguisher, pulls the pin, and just goes, like, all over the inside of his console and everything. And I'm like,
no.
Yo, like, did you see flames? Like, what the heck's going on here, man? Like,
And a C fire you don't put out with an extension or a fire extinguisher.
Right. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
it was all over, and I mean, we don't even know what it was. I mean, the boat operated fine, like it cranked up. We went back to the dock, like I don't even know what came of it, other than like some of the metals, like the stainless steel, like the handrail and the this and that, and the whole back of his switch panel, like where everything plugs into the circuit breakers and stuff. He had to have the whole boat rewired, and
wow,
it was pretty crazy.
Crazy. If it's an electrical fire, you kill the power source. You don't use a fire extinguisher. That's funny.
That was part of the captain's class too.
Yeah.
I want to know why it's CCN. Because it is. I googled it.
I thought it Florida Youth Conservation Network.
But there's 2 C's in it for some reason. I'm googling it. Like it's FYCCN for sure. Conservation Centers Network.
Jake Fitzroy. I think he's still the main guy over there.
Hey, before we're done, like when we get to that last segment or something, can we talk about right to hunt and fish for a minute again?
100%.
Absolutely.
It's top on my list.
Excellent. You see how
I
they
give
cut
you
that
permission
video
on
and
the
they've been
show
like
that I'm a
tagging
guest
us
on.
in it? I thought that was good. Like it's another.
Yeah. We don't have anybody on the call screen, so when we come back, we can do that.
Okay.
Did you show this to them? The viewers.
No.
So, for the record, this is the lure Travis was talking about.
I'm so impressed Bobby knew where the camera was.
we're gonna cut away from the live for a second while I deal with Travis. Yeah, it says right there on the package, sits upright and drives bass slap crazy.
Dude, that thing is I bet it would still work.
Oh, dude, every lure that used to work would still work.
That thing was
Guaranteed.
money. It's about a 40-inch snook off a Bird Key across from Gasparilla Island with one of those in his mouth. The last one I owned.
We got Will from Crystal River on the line, so we'll grab him, and then when we get to that bigger segment, we'll hit the right to hunt and fish. That way we won't be rushed anyway, because this is going to be a shorter segment.
I did something kind of, I don't know if it's crazy, but that I had never done before. Sitting on that flat at Bird Key, we caught bait off the drop-off off that flat, and then we went up onto the flat and we're red fishing. And, and I'm chumming and, doing whatever, trying to get some fish chummed up, and, like, nothing. I'm like, there's got to be some redfish here. Like, there pretty historically is. So I started putting bait chum out, created a bait school behind the back of the boat, and then we started catching redfish.
It's Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, y'all. Captain Dylan Hubbard from Hubbard's Marina for our Bartow Ford Real Animals radio show. We got Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly'em High Charters, Captain Travis Thompson from All Florida. We're chatting fishing this morning, and hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 if you want to join the conversation. We want to give a shout-out to our friends over at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives, the world's first self-sharpening knife that sharpens as it cuts. Ultra-hard carbide, never rust titanium blade with true grit glass reinforced ABS handle on a knife that is perfectly balanced and comes in 5 great models. Take the work out of filleting a pile of fish today and get your Relentless knife. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com to find out for yourself why all the pros are talking about this knife right now. We've also got William from Crystal River on the line. Good morning, William. How are you today?
What's up, William?
Good morning, Captains. Mayor Dylan Hubbard has a really good ring to it. Although living in Crystal River, I couldn't vote for you. You have to run for governor.
Oh, I don't know about all that, but
We'll put that on the roadmap for him.
I just wanted to relate the fact that I love tandem fishing. I took a love lure, took it apart, learned how they built it. Then I built my own tandem rigs where you can really play around with different color lead heads, different weight lead heads, add shrimp to them. But catching two legal trout at the same time is amazing. There's nothing like it. They fight in different directions, and it's just amazing to catch two fish at once.
Oh, yeah.
But catching ladyfish at the same time is even more of a riot because that, as much as they fight, it really compounds the fight and the excitement.
Dude.
But tie lines, next time you hear these words, I hope you're saying them, fish on. Thanks for being there, and I'll vote for you if I could, Mayor Dylan.
Thank you, William. We appreciate it, my friend, as always. Always good to hear from you.
Thank you, Captains. I hope your next one's bigger than the last.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank
like
you, buddy.
that.
Tight lines.
That's good. That's good sentiment right there.
It is. I like it. And also, he didn't mention it, but the tandem rig, Jack Crevel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was. That's where my head went.
Changer.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've caught two jacks on the same top water plug multiple times.
Yeah,
And
but-
like big jacks, like wintertime, like Apollo Beach wall jacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember in our canal growing up, we were blessed. I grew up on the water, and I would always keep an eye peeled this time of year. You'd see those birds working, and all of a sudden you see them start to come in the canal, and they'd work down the
Work their
seawall.
way down, yeah.
So if I caught it early enough, I could throw the kayak in the water and chase that school through the canal, and a lot of times follow them for a couple canals and just kill
Wear 'em out.
Yeah. And they always take you on a sleigh ride on a kayak.
Always.
It's so much fun. And you throw a gotcha plug or a top water, and you could literally hook two at a time.
Yep.
It's the best. Love
It's just
that.
something like inherently primal about catching two fish at one cast.
Yeah.
Like that just feels like, I don't know. It's kind of the same feeling as catching when the mackerel are running good, the Spanish or whatever, and you can throw a bare hook out there and sometimes get one to bite it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm such a good angler. I caught one without a bait.
Yeah.
It's the same deal with
it makes you think that like you're good for life. Like no matter what happens, you can catch fish, you can provide food.
So it was so funny that you bring this up because my son, we've been fishing off the dock at the Marina quite a bit lately, and we were using the old gold hooks, the size 6 or size 10 little pinfish hooks, and he was into it and just kind of losing its allure a little bit. We were struggling. One day they kept stealing the bait. I was like, screw this. Went and got a sabiki rig inside and tied on a sabiki rig. He caught 3 pinfish at once, and he thought he was the man.
Yeah, dude.
Screaming. It was like his first fish all over again.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, this is the move.
I'll never forget the first time I dropped a sabiki off the Skyway. I was like, did that just work? Like, it was one of those things that, like, you see guys on TV or whatever do stuff, and you're like, I don't know if this works in real life. It's like, this is incredible. How did that work? How did that happen?
There was no bait on there. I'm the best fisherman
This
ever.
is magic. I just discovered a secret.
That's awesome. Definitely excited. We got more show coming up. We're going to talk about the right to hunt and fish on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Give us a shout. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
The local Lexus dealers.
Yeah, when I got into tarpon fishing hard, it took me no time at all.
Tarpon fishing hard.
Well, I'm like when I was younger and I really started concentrating on it.
Yeah.
It took me no time at all to realize that I was sabiking for thread fins completely wrong. I was using way too light of a weight, and you get 2, 3, 4 thread fins, and they swim. If they can swim against the weight, then they get all tangled. So like I started using like 2, 3 ounce weights on the bottom of my sabiki to keep it stretched out.
I've always used a really heavy weight.
Yeah,
always, like everywhere.
Yeah, because I mean I was using like I don't know, like a half or 1
Quarter
ounce
ounce or something.
You know?
Yeah,
or like a half or 1. I mean, it's not enough to get it down, but you know. Then I was like, man, why did they tangle? And so I tied on a new one. Damn, why did it tangle? And then finally it hit me one day. I'm like, try a heavier weight. So keep it stretched out. It's good.
Huh.
Hell, there for a while when we stopped jigging for tarpon, I was using a bunch of my damn old tarpon jig heads.
Did you have a sabiki pole? Did you ever have a sabiki pole?
I have had them. I'm probably going to invest in another 1 or 2 because typically I'll have 2 sabiki, one off each side. So yeah, that's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
Yes, that is definitely the ticket.
I broke mine, and I'm like, I don't use sabiki like I used to. When I was starboard fishing, like sabiki was critical.
Yeah.
Critical.
Yeah.
To the success of the situation.
Yeah.
It's always scary to go to the bathroom on break.
Why?
I always feel like
Because you're not sure if you'll make it back.
Yeah.
We got you. Bobby, you were yawning during the safety briefing. I just like to point that out.
That's
He
okay.
was yawning hard.
That's
Yeah,
okay. I'm a safe dude.
I'm a safe dude.
So we were talking about 12 gauge, and he goes, for those of us that carry.
I
and
know.
I
I was wondering if anybody else caught
I'm
that.
like, where's this going? I'm down, but where's it going?
Yeah. And also, when I typically think guys that carry, and I think 12 gauge, I don't think the same.
The same
That's
conversation.
Not
yeah.
really the overlapping.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not the overlapping Venn diagrams.
Right.
Although my grandfather told me to always carry a 12 gauge for safety.
Yeah.
In the boat.
Oh, in the boat, yeah.
Yeah, like to have one in the boat.
Yeah.
I do not.
If I offshore fished, I mean, I'll always have a pistol, like no matter what.
Yeah.
But if I offshore fished, I'd have either like a marinized 12 gauge or I'd have something other than a
Mossberg
pistol.
500 Tactical makes a stainless short
they?
barrel.
Do they?
And it's called the Mariner. It
Yeah.
comes in a stainless tube. So the tube screws tight. And
That's
it's
cool.
got,
It's got an
foam
O-ring or
inside. Yeah. Mossberg 500 Mariner. It's bad to the bones. Stainless steel. When it came out, it was like $500. Now you can't find them for less than like $9.
Really?
They're cool though. I like my Mariner.
Have you ever boated to the Bahamas?
You have one?
Have I boated to the Bahamas?
Yeah.
No, never.
You have a Mariner?
I did, but no, unfortunately.
Lost it in a boating accident?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So I have all of my firearms as well.
Yeah. I've ruined multiple shotguns. We used to do the pirate festivals, and we shot blanks, the 12 gauge blanks, and you shoot a couple hundred blanks out of a shotgun, it's pretty much done. It's crazy. It's like
There's nothing to
so
absorb
hard to
the,
clean.
because there's no energy to absorb.
Yeah.
Like it's all in the. It's not expelling a load
Yeah.
where energy is being transferred.
It's crazy how much gunk gets caught in the barrel, and then you can't really clean it. It's nuts.
Because it's so hot, it like fuses to the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those shells now that clean your gun?
No.
Really?
They have that?
They make shotgun shells, and you fire them, and it cleans your barrel.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Self-cleaning barrels. I can get behind this.
Pretty cool. I'm looking this thing
Yeah,
up.
especially
Mossberg.
because the act of cleaning it is firing it again.
Yeah.
Shooting it again.
I can get on board with that.
Dang, dude,
So
these are badass.
I had a weird gun.
That's
here.
what intimidates me about that MP5 that I got. It's
Yeah.
like it's such a nice high-end gun, and it's so complicated. I'm like, man, I start shooting this thing. I want to make sure I take care of it right. I'm looking at all these parts. I'm like, holy hell, this is going to be a to-do.
I had
That
a
is pretty, though.
weird gun years ago. It was a 22 rifle, bolt action, but it was a smooth bore. It was specifically designed for shooting 22 rat shot.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, so it was like a 22 shotgun.
That's
basically,
awesome.
you know.
Yeah. That's cool.
Dude, this Mariner is like a.
Oh, that's pretty legit.
That is dope, dude.
Yeah, it is awesome.
What's the capacity?
8+1?
8?
9.
Oh yeah.
20-inch barrel.
Mm-hmm. I still have 2 of the 500 Tacticals, which is pretty much the Mariner, except for it's blued, and
Right.
it's black, and then it has that door breech barrel.
Pistol grip.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. I don't have a hunting. Or I do have a hunting shotgun. I have a Mossberg 1100, 700. I have an 1100 instant. Wait,
900.
yeah, that's one.
I know somebody that has like 20 Berettas.
Yeah,
I think it's a
400 Berettas. Oh, I'll look it up on the next break.
Dylan Hubbard.
We're back. Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Captain Dylan Hubbard for Bartow Ford Real Animals. And we've got Captain Travis Thompson in studio from All Florida. We got Captain Bobby Woodard from Fly'em High Charters. And we're chatting fishing with you this morning in the beautiful iHeartMedia studio empire here. And want to give a shout out to our friends over at Affordable Roofing Systems. Remember, if you need a shingle, metal, tile, or flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They're defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a personalized and professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate today, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Yes, sir. Right to hunt and fish.
Right
we
to
want to
hunt and
get to
fish.
that.
Yeah, we talked about it a few weeks ago, but
Yeah.
like it's on the ballot in November.
Yep.
So you'd be able
It's
to
coming up.
be able to vote for your constitutional right to fish and hunt.
Vote yes on Amendment 2. I remember Travis told me not to say that.
He can't.
I can't say that. I can't say that, but yeah, it's a good reminder. Everybody, like, tell your friends, tell your family about it. You know, did you see our snail kite video that we released this week?
I did.
No, I did not.
That's
I
pretty
have to
dope.
send it to you. Like, it's an endangered species, and we've restored it on our duck ranch through cattle ranching and hunting. Like those, if you took hunting away, they wouldn't be restored.
Yep.
You took cattle ranching away, they wouldn't be restored. So it just shows like the importance of, even if you don't hunt, the importance of the value of hunting on the landscape. I tell people all the time, clean water is the same way. You want to advocate
So
for
someone sitting there who's worried about the health of the bird population should be advocating for bird hunters.
a 1,000,000,000%, not just because we increased the number
amazing,
of
isn't it?
ducks and stuff, but like this is an endangered raptor.
Yeah.
And like we've raised
I love the word raptor.
hundreds of, I do too, man. It reminds me of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right.
But we've raised hundreds of them on this property. There's only like 1,500 left in the state.
Wow.
3,000 in the state. Like, it's a low number. And we're substantially increasing that population.
Yeah.
And hunting is the tool that's being used to do that. And so it's just like, it doesn't just apply to like us wanting to shoot something or us wanting to catch a fish. I tell people all the time, you want clean water, make sure you have a right to fish.
Exactly.
Because if you have a right to fish, you now have a audience out there that is going to ensure that there is clean water.
And above and beyond that, there's a lot of mechanisms that happen in the background that people aren't aware of. Like, one thing that I've learned in the last 4 or 5 years is about all those Dingle Johnson dollars and all these conservation dollars that come with our industry, and the excise tax that happens when you buy a fishing pole. You're donating conservation. So Captain Mike says it all the time. You got to be a member of CCA. You got to be a member of the Florida Guides Association. You got to join one of these groups, and your membership fee helps, and it does, and that is important. But you also do that every time you buy tackle.
That's
every
exactly
time you
right.
buy a rod and reel, a boat, a trailer, whatever.
The most important thing, though, is like our unified voices.
Yes,
Like,
100%.
that's why I always tell people, like, even if I'm a lifetime member of CCA. I think you're a lifetime member of CCA.
Yep.
Are you a CCA member currently?
Member, not lifetime,
Okay.
though. Yeah.
So, like, do we agree with everything CCA does? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody out there I agree with everything. Like my wife and I, who I love more than anyone on the
The
planet.
three of us don't agree
Yeah.
most of the time.
It's exactly right. So, like, you look at things through a different lens, but representatively, when CCA stands up in front of a commission or whatever else, and they say we've got 25,000 members,
Yeah.
there's a lot of power in that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of power in that. And so being part of the voice that's being counted,
Yeah.
because if you're not a member of something, you're not being counted. It's a member to join. That's a reason to join FGA.
Yeah.
Like,
Stand for something or you fall for anything.
there you go. To quote, who was that?
I don't know, but I love that quote.
Got to stand for, was that George Strait?
I think it was like a
The
founding
song?
father.
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
but I mean, the song. Like, I don't
I'm
know.
sure
if
it's
the
probably a
founding fathers.
George Strait song too.
I think
It sounds
it's
like
George
something he
Strait.
would do.
Somebody in the comments will correct us on
Yeah.
that.
It's
Anyway,
awesome. It's a great quote.
Make sure you're paying attention to this. It's a big deal, but also the best thing you guys can do, like listening to this, is I'm assuming everybody listening to this would vote for a right to fish and hunt.
Hopefully.
Spread the word.
It's your neighbors, your
Yep.
friends, like convincing them, hey, this is really important. And it goes beyond me being able to go fishing on Saturday morning or me being able to go hunting on Saturday morning. It has implications from a conservation standpoint.
And it's one of those important things. I know a lot of times when you get into the voting booth, you start, all right, I know who I'm going to vote for here. Some of the big races.
Check, go home.
And a lot of times those amendments are like, what is this? And you kind of can glaze through those, or maybe people aren't aware of them as much. This one's an important amendment. It'll be on the ballot. It'll be there. So look for it. Tell your friends to look for it. And it's going to be Amendment 2, and it's going to be the right to hunt and fish. We want to vote in favor.
And I would add, for people like myself that are very simple-minded and don't necessarily understand things in depth,
it's not nice to talk about yourself
I'm
like
just,
that.
I'm just saying.
And I disagree with that sentiment.
However, I also like do research, and I'm intrigued to see what am I actually voting for on ballot stuff. Travis's website literally dumps it down. It spells it out. This is the language. This is the reason why. This is so.
And it's in the comments. If you're watching on the live stream, it's in the comments. We're putting it in there right now. It's allfla.org/.